I started by splitting the fenders in half so I can widen them with the rear end. To sink the seat down in between the tires, I'm going to cut the frame to where it sits just above the rear pulley. Here are the frames laid out for the initial cut. I unbolted the back of the frame to make it easier to cut the sides. As you can see, the frame is cut just above the rear pulley. Now that both sides are cut, it's time to test fit the seat. It sets down as low as I want it to, but it's just a little too far back, so I'm going to cut some more of the frame in front of the seat. Here it is all laid out for the little bit that I'm going to cut out extra. Eventually the back of the frame will be welded as one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and cut an angle to make it like a built-in gusset. Here I'm test fitting the seat again, and it sets exactly like I want it to. I'm going to put the tires on it now and see what it looks like setting on the ground. The rims are only set about halfway on the axle, that way the seat will sit down in place. It's time to see how comfortable it sits. It sits comfortable, but the top of the frame's hitting the back of my legs, so I'm going to lay it out and cut a 45-degree angle on it. I'm just measuring or setting the square at about the middle of the seat, and then I'll flip it around and lay it out for the 45. Here it is laid out and ready to cut. Here it is with the 45 cut out, and it's time to put the seat on it and test fit it again. My legs missed the frame now, and it sets absolutely perfect. I'm going to go ahead and cut some more out of the fenders to make them fit down around the seat. I ain't end up having to cut the fenders into several pieces, so it's going to end up being a lot more welding than I first thought. I need to notch the fenders so they'll fit around the seat. Here I notched out the fender and cut the bottom off and bent it at an angle and attached it to the footrest. All I have to do is cut a narrow strip of sheet metal and weld it in place. I have a small gap to fill between the center and the centerpiece and the fenders as well. I'm going to use the piece that I notched out of the inside of the fender to fill in the gap where the factory shifter was. That's it for the day. Next time I'll be pulling the rear end out and getting it rebuilt and the new axle in it so I can have it back in place to finish the fenders. Like, share, and subscribe.